Hi everyone. Should I do a countdown or anything?
Sure, whenever you're ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome everyone. My name's ShadowFrost. I'll be playing Luigi's Mansion, the any percent no out of bounds category. We'll be starting off in this cute little room where we'll get introduced to the game. Here you'll see that paintings start to move because this mansion is infested by ghosts. And Luigi won this mansion, and Mario went in to check it out, but he didn't come back. So Luigi went out there, tried looking for him, and there he met some old strange guy, which gave him a vacuum cleaner to actually capture ghosts. So that's how we start in this first room. First room is very simple, just a few simple ghosts we'll be catching. The ghosts will always spawn in the same location, so we can just move around a bit and just goof around a little bit until they spawn. Oh. When you capture the final ghost in the room, when you capture the final ghost in the room, you want to be as close to the chest as possible, just because you don't want to move there anymore. This next room will have a new ghost, like up until now we only had this small ghost with only 10 health. Now we'll also be introduced to the pink ghost, which has 20 health. Nothing too interesting. At this point in time, multiple ghosts can be spawning at the same time, and to catch them as efficiently as possible, we try to capture them at the same time. For most of them we use pretty specific setups to capture them as quickly as possible. This next room, I actually don't do a double, because the next ghosts don't spawn until only the right ghost indicates that the new ghost will be spawning if you capture that one. Also the banana ghost, everyone's favorite. He throws a lot of bananas around. The advantage of the green ghost is like it's the only ghost you can push around. So you can actually do pretty easy setups to get doubles on those. Now we'll be getting this key, already carrying it to the door. And now we'll head back to the main room. After this part, we'll start capturing some bigger ghosts, which we will call portrait ghosts, since at the end of each area, they'll be actually turned into portraits. Also, this is the old guy I mentioned before. At the Game Boy Horror. Beautiful pun on the Game Boy Color. This first portrait ghost is called Nigel. He is just reading his book over here. And you can't capture ghosts until they show their hearts. This one shows his heart when he starts yawning. And you just have to wait a little bit for him to actually show up. So that's our first portrait ghost. You can do a donation.
Okay, we actually have two donations. First of all, we've got a donation from Jasper, €1 donation saying, "Gotta get this party started somehow. Let's reach 1K again, people." And then we have a pretty special donation from Huub and Petra, which says, "Rob, go for it."
Those are my parents. Thank you so much. This was our second portrait ghost, Lydia. She shows her heart when the windows open and she actually gets cold. Now we'll go to our first boss, which you'll be hearing right now. He's crying. It might be a hint to what it may be. To initiate the boss scene, you need to wake him up. And there he is, Chauncey. You actually need to hit him with a ball. And then he starts talking to you a bit. Like, he's only 1 year old, but he can already talk. That's pretty impressive. Basically tells you that it isn't fair that you're so big and that he's so small. So actually, he shrinks you down and puts you in his crib. Now this boss fight, it is impossible to do it in one cycle, so therefore we have to do it in 2 cycles. He has 100 health, and if you keep him above 50 health after the first cycle, it will actually be slightly faster since he'll throw less rocking horses. Once he goes below 50 health, he'll start throwing more and it's slower, and you know, we don't want that. It's always the same locations where these rocking horses spawn, so we first want to go all the way to the right, make it hit you all the way at the left. And then there's this specific location where you can stand and very easily catch the ball. Let's see if we can keep him above 50. Exactly 50. That's actually perfect. Now he'll just go bounce around a bit, but you don't want to see that. Let's look at this wall. What a it's beautiful. Where the hell are we though? It's like some weird abyss-ish. Anyway, let's continue. So another set of rocking horses. Luigi running around again. Oh, I actually forgot to do setup there. You want to get hit there to actually get some invincibility frames. So you can actually capture this ball with your head and immediately grab it. We still got it. And there we go. First boss. Only 3 more to go. Now we'll get this big key to unlock the next area. And after each boss fight, EGAT sends you back to his lab to actually remove the ghosts from your vacuum cleaner and turn them into portraits. So there will be a little cutscene over here. So I'll tell a little bit about the category. This category sees any percent no out of bounds, which means completing the game as quickly as possible without going out of bounds. The game is possible to actually go out of bounds and complete it within about 10 minutes, I would think. But that isn't allowed in this category. So to complete the game, we need to capture a total of 40 boos, which will be unlocked in a little while. And that's basically the only requirement. You don't need any cash or anything to complete this game. There is, however, though, the 100% category, which requires capturing all the boos, all the optional portrait ghosts as well, and collecting at least $100 million to get the A rank mention at the end. But that's a slightly longer category, we don't want to do that. I don't actually run it. So here we unlock this door. With double doors, we always try to go through the left door because the animation of Luigi going through is slightly faster. Ah, we messed up. There goes half a second. In these hallway segments, we always try to point the flashlight at the ceiling because a lot of ghosts can spawn from the ceiling. But as long as you keep the flashlight at the location where the ghost will spawn, they won't actually spawn. Because every time Luigi gets ghost spawn, Luigi actually gets scared like that. Ah. We tried to go for the double there. Then we just do them one by one. Another beautiful talk by EGAD. He talks a lot. So in this next room will be the first spot where RNG starts to play a role. First we have to capture a few shy guys, which aren't that much RNG based. But after that, a portrait ghost will spawn, which are 2 dancers. And it's just completely random how fast they'll show their hearts. So when I need to focus a little bit for these shy guys. We try to get doubles on all of them, but their hitboxes can be a little bit weird sometimes, so... Oh. Now we'll have a sec to catch the final one again. It spawns somewhere. Hello? There it is. So now these 2 portrait ghosts, whenever it can either, you can catch them pretty early, like in a few seconds, or later. If we get it, which we didn't, we actually called early release. It saves about 10 seconds. Now we just have to wait a little while longer to actually make them show their hearts. In this next room, we're actually gonna do a nice sort of glitch. I wouldn't say it's a glitch per se. It's just you can grab a poster really early. Even though you can't see a poster yet, you can already start sucking it up. It's to the left in this room. So we actually vacuum the wall a little bit. And we got the poster already. So the button you'll see in a moment when this wall starts moving. Spoilers for people who've not seen the game. Oh, hello. I'm alright. So we press a button there. Little cutscene here before the real big part of RNG starts playing a role. You can already see the button being revealed. Normally there's a poster in front, but by standing in that very specific corner, you can grab it slightly early. So this is where the boosts get released into the mansion. You need, as stated before, I need to capture a total of 40 boosts. Therefore, I'll be heading up to some previous rooms to capture some of the boosts because before we can continue with the main rooms, we actually have to have 5 boosts. So we'll be going to the first 3 rooms we've been to before, this room, and the ballroom in front of this. And then more text. As you might have seen, this game is in Japanese. That's just because the Japanese text is way quicker than the actual English text. There's also 2 glitches we can only do on the Japanese version. But we mainly do it because of the decreased amount of text. So it might actually be possible to do a specific glitch here. We can't since the boo is in the table. Well, he might be. He is. In each room where there's a boo, there's certain locations the boo can actually sit in. Like, we know these, speedrunners know these locations where they can be. But there will also, besides being the actual boo, there will also be a decoy, which can either be a boo ball or a boo bomb. I haven't seen any of those two yet. You can use the radar, you see in the bottom right the blinking yellow, red, and now blue lights to sort of get an indication where the boo is. But it doesn't work very well most of the time. It was actually the Shurik. As you heard that, a boo ball actually spawned. And we don't want those decoys. It's completely random where these boos can be. You just most of the time have to go through each spot where they can be. Now, a cool thing you can do in Luigi's Mansion is take a picture of the mirror and you are back to the main room. It saves quite a bit of walking. So now capturing 2 more boos. We'll actually skip this room just because it's a little bit slighter better movement if we do that room second. The boo is always in those boxes. Like, there are many different boxes it can be in, but since you can just use your vacuum and shake them all at the same time, it doesn't really matter that there are really a lot of spots that he can be in. Ah, a boo bomb. Actually, make him start moving closer to the door. And now that we got 5 boosts, we unlock the next room. EGET is like, yo, Luigi, you don't look very good. Maybe you should wash your face a little bit. So that's where we're going to the toilet. And there's this toad who's crying, really sad, but we'll just pretend he's not there. We'll just leave him there without talking to him, trying to comfort him. This next room we'll be going to is a little bit more special. Like, this is one of the 2 rooms that the boos aren't actually visible. It's called the mirror room, and you can only see the boos in the mirror. Not the boos, the ghosts, I mean. But we basically know where they're gonna spawn, so we don't really need to have the mirror. You might also see me getting grabbed on purpose by these grabber ghosts. Just we position them a little better so we can get doubles on them, so we don't have to suck up 2 different ghosts at the same time. So we do a quite intrigued setup here. We open the location of the boo. Then we open the item we need to get. Let's see. No, it flew away. I've never seen that. Normally what you try to do there is actually grab this medallion at the same time you capture the boo. Just because this text you get when the fire mail, when you get it, it's really long. What we try to do is capture the boo at the same time, save from the boo prompt you get, and then just do a soft reset. We already captured the boo. So now we also have to escape from this room, which is by collecting a fire element, lighting all the candles, and the door will open. Now in this room we need to also light all the candles to make the next key spawn. Also it takes a little while before you can grab keys, so sometimes you just need to wait on them. This next portrait ghost is a little bit of RNG as well. Like he'll be walking back and forth in this hallway over there to the left. He can either be all the way to the left, like he is now, or he can also be almost immediately all the way to the right. It was average. And since we have to wait for him to actually get to the location where we can capture him, we're gonna clear out a different room. It's an optional room to clear out, but since we have to wait anyway, and we need to capture boos, it's better to just clear this out and get it. Also, you've seen me opening the dryer there and unlocking Mario's head. We'll grab it in a second. But for later in the game, you need 5 different Mario items to progress the story. And this is the only time we go to this room. So we actually tried... I don't think I got the cutscene skip. If you grab the head at the exact right moment, you won't see this animation of the chest spawning. So we open it, but don't care about the cache. Also, when you take a picture of a mouse hole, it usually means there's a hidden passage through. And we actually will be going in there to capture another boo. Also, you heard the boo cackle right there. Whenever the boo cackles, it actually switches locations. It can be quite annoying, especially if you've checked multiple locations where it can be. Like, it's in the final spot. The pearls can sometimes be quite annoying, as you might see. Luigi likes to auto-lock on the pearls. And also, we got hit by a pet. No, Luigi, take a picture of the mouse. The hitbox on this thing is really weird. And what you actually saw there when I actually went through the mouse hole while capturing the boo, it saves the text box after it, since the animation of Luigi capturing the boo gets cancelled. We'll do the same trick in a second, but then going the other way. Oh. And then we're back. Now in this room we'll also capture the boo. It's cleared already, and it isn't a very difficult boo to capture. What you also see me doing is sort of doing little pumps every 10 health. It's a tactic we call air pumping. It saves, it makes sure that the boo stays in the same location. What you basically do is hold both the L and the R button, and every 10 health release it. It actually sort of makes it reset. Like for the first 10 health, the boo doesn't want to move, but after that, after the 10 health, it actually starts moving again. Also this room. The melody can play two different tunes in a moment. What? I missed an instrument? What? Oops. That can happen. She can play 2 different songs, either the water team or the sky team. I don't read Japanese, but luckily I know that when she plays the water tune, it's the first option, or in this case, the sky team, it's the third option. I think we have time for a little donation now.
Okay, we just got a €15 donation from Captain Obvious saying, "Hi from Glasgow, everyone. Good luck to the runners. Hope to see some lava boosts later and maybe even some hashtag blame M3 Kappa. Also, I'd like to see Dutch J, with a capital J, suffer so money goes to SMW 11 exit."
So there are a few locations. This room has many locations the Boo can be hiding in. It would be best if it was actually like that in the piano. Worst case scenario, it's like all the way to the left, somewhere in the hub. And in this room, the radar is really not working really well. It just starts bleeping even when you're not really close to it. Now we'll also encounter the first optional portrait ghost. He's eating stuff, but we just ignore him. We just go straight to the kitchen. We actually try to... Oh, don't get hit by stuff. Wait, the angle is there pretty finicky sometimes, but when you actually spray the element on top of the ghost already, it won't spawn with the element in it. Like certain ghosts already have an element within them, ice, fire or water. And before you can capture them, you actually need to spray them with an element beforehand, before you can start capturing them. We just got our second element. Oh. It's the water element. We use it to... What you would think you would do with water, you extinguish fire with it. No. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. I really hope he goes back in there. Okay, that's good. You can only capture Boos in lit rooms, so if he moves to a dark room, it can be quite a time waste. Luckily, he went back to this lit room. Now in here, we have our beautiful animal. We gotta save him. Like, we avoid him for a little while because we need to wait for a skeleton to spawn. But after the third time leaping at him, we try to just throw him at a specific location. So after we capture the skeleton, a bone will spawn and it will be right next to it. So we can grab him immediately. Okay. Also, the hitbox on this doghouse is really bad. I'll try going for a double here. We use our flashlight to stun the skeleton and make sure the other one moves close enough to it to actually be able to grab the double. And now it's time for the second boss. Bachmeier can technically be done in a one cycle, but Bachmeier just likes to run around a lot. So it's really difficult to keep him under control and actually continuously decrease his health. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's just some... almost all of the other portrait ghosts are like human or animals. But this is just some pink thing. Just goop or something. This isn't the actual boss. This is just a thing you need to grab. Once you grab it, you can actually start capturing the Bachmeier. Let's see if we can keep him under control. Ah, 6 health. It doesn't waste too much time though. We just need to do the same trick again. And there we go. Second boss. And again, after the boss fight, we'll be going back to EGAT's lab to return the portrait ghost. And I would say it's a very cool machine. Like, I don't know why we have to do all these steps, but for some reason they have to go in some sort of washing machine first. I guess to cleanse their hearts, I don't know. Like it's in Japanese, I don't read it. I have no idea what he's saying. Like, he talks about it, but he just stamps them and electrifies them. We just torture these girls, even though they just try to live a happy life in the mansion, and then Luigi just barges in. The color of the frames is actually dependent on how many pearls you grab after you capture them. Since won't be grabbing a lot of pearls, since we don't need it for the catch, most of them will be bronze. In a 100% category, you'll most likely... Oh, we saved. Well, let's see. Wait just a second. In the 100% category, you'll see like only gold frames, since the pearls are actually worth quite a lot. And since this is the Mario block.
Mario!
Oh, don't.
Mario!
Mario! Mario! We'll actually be seeing Mario in a couple of seconds. Like, we'll get a little spoiler on who the final boss is gonna be. And no, it's not Mario. We actually already grabbed some water there for later. It's the only water we can actually grab on the route towards the next room. And as you might remember, we already collected one of Mario's items, his cap. So, wait, why is he wearing his cap? Is that really Mario? If Luigi could just try to fit through there, we would save so much time in this run. Ah well, that just means we have to do the second half of the game as well. This key will unlock the next room, which will again contain an optional portrait ghost, which we won't be getting. But before we do that, we grab one more of Mario's item, and we keep spraying that tree just because a really annoying ghost can spawn there. It scares Luigi and it wastes, I would say, a second or two. Since we don't need this, and also Luigi likes to walk in circles on treadmills. What we did there, we shot some water through the ceiling, because whenever you spray a fire, it actually takes a couple of seconds before we can actually go through the door. So we try to spray it as early as possible, and it's actually possible to just shoot some water through the ceiling there, so it can already start with its animation of extinguishing. Now we'll be getting our final element, the ice element, which I would say is the most useful, since you can sort of freeze boost with it. So we actually grab some ice from over here. And it's in here somewhere. So there are just a few very specific places where you can just shake so many items at once that it's pretty quick to check whether the boo is on that side or not. Also, what I haven't mentioned before, you saw me spray a little bit of ice there. Whenever Luigi enters from a lit room to a dark room, Luigi normally turns on his flashlight and he doesn't want to move until it's completely on. However, when you shoot an element right when you enter a dark room, it actually skips that animation. Oh, really? 3 health? Don't worry, he's still there. Like, it doesn't save a lot of time that's using that element to skip the animation, but we can do it quite often in the run. So overall it will save, I would think, a minute. Now Nana, which we're really mean to her. She didn't do anything wrong and we're just shooting her with these... Oh, we missed. Whenever you miss, you have to reset the room, unfortunately. So, sorry, I missed again. Okay. Third tries the charm, right? Oh, come on! I should take a little bit longer to set up my angle. Hello? There we go. Let's hope the Boo is on the left side. If he isn't on the left side, it's pretty slow since we have to move all the way to the right here and check this thing. This is actually a good time to freeze Boo. Just, you can grab the key and it'll stay in place for a little while. Also, don't... The pearls are really annoying. Like, for some reason, Luigi likes money more than capturing Boos. It just shows how greedy Luigi is. Also, we need fire here, but a lot of ghosts can spawn here, so... And also the mice can just be trolls to you and just hit you. Like, how dare they? Now we'll actually summon some ghosts. It gets really creepy here, like... This room is actually pretty easy to set up some doubles. Like, there's always a shy guy and a different ghost. And when we wait to get the mask off the shy guy, the other one will just get to you and just wait for it. For this final one, we actually want to capture this ghost first, because really conveniently, the shy guys just walk to the same spot. This is again a room where the Raider can be really weird sometimes. Oh no, the bomb! No! We definitely don't want this Boo to escape, because most of the time we'll go to a room where we don't really come back anymore. Now this room is definitely interesting. In a moment we have to shoot the moon and destroy it. Like, why, Luigi? I don't know why either. For some reason we see the moon and we're like, dang, I don't like that. So we have to capture our comets, and this angle is really precise. So let's see if I can get it first try. Yeah, we hit it. Nice. It's really for some reason they thought it was a good idea to make that angle really precise. Even though this game is for 3 years and older, I don't think a 3-year-old can ever get that angle. That's true though, but... So that's the third of Mario's item. We need 2 more, so we'll have to go back a little bit to the hallway of area 2. Also, you can make Luigi spin in circles while he's walking. That key is that door is normally locked, but it's once we got the key in the gym, that actually unlocks that door. Like, technically it's an optional key, but otherwise we have to move through the garden every time. And wait, I need to turn on the projector first. Again, a room where the ghosts are invisible. No problem though, because I know the next one is gonna spawn to the right here. Like, normally you can only see them when they're in front of this projector. You see a black silhouette of them. Okay. Now this is the time when we also try to go for a triple, which is capturing 3 ghosts at once. It's pretty difficult to set up though, so I messed up there. If you do it quick though, it doesn't waste that much time though. Also, there are a lot of hearts around. Whenever you catch a double or a triple, each ghost which was in there will drop a heart. Like, health is normally not really an issue. It's pretty difficult to die on this version. Because that's one of the big differences as well between the Japanese and the American version, I would say. The PAL version is completely different. But the only difference between Japanese and American is that you take the double amount of damage on the American version. The PAL version is definitely interesting to be running this game. Wait, we're not going here. I forgot my routing. Oh well, then we're just gonna walk back. We had to go upstairs. So as some of you might have noticed, there's a little star on the bottom right. That indicates that we're on the hidden mansion, which is unlocked after beating the games once. And the blue's actually in the worst spots. In the hidden mansion, your vacuum is actually stronger, therefore, and you skip the intro cutscene. So we like to run this game on the hidden mansion. However, it sometimes gives a little bit of trouble during menuing because we have to go to the second option every time we enter the mansion. It happens that you go to the regular mansion and then you have to back out. The next portrait ghost, which actually consists of 2 ghosts. Well, we actually got 1 pair of ghosts already, but those you can suck up together. This one we actually have to suck up separately. And first of all, they're playing hide and seek. They place 5 boxes and they'll be hiding in 2 of those. Like, there is a trick though to tell where they are in. Like, it's not completely RNG. Whenever the box shakes, it actually just means there's one of in there. And when you get them, they realize, like, dang, you're a cheater. You were shaking the boxes to see in which one we were. How could you? And then they get mad at us. We go for the blue one first because the blue one is way more annoying than the red one. Also, you just saw a poison mushroom spawn. You definitely don't want to get hit by those. Oh, we were good. It despawned right before it hit us. When you get hit by a poison mushroom, Luigi actually gets pretty small and you can't actually suck up ghosts. Let's open this first. So whenever you get hit by a poison mushroom, it wastes about 20 seconds. So we want to try avoiding poison mushrooms as much as we can. So we'll now go back to Chauncey's room. Capture Boo in here as well. Oh, it moved. That's good there. In this next room, we're gonna go for a nice little cutscene. Not a cutscene, a text box skip. Whenever Luigi's animation gets interrupted by something, while finally capturing the Boo, it actually cancels that. And one of the things that it gets cancelled by is by sucking up a cloud. So we pull out that cloud almost all the way. And once we capture this Boo, we want to get the cloud as well. And then, if it's good, we skip the text by getting the Boo. That's especially useful in this room, since that room is quite laggy for some reason. And the text box just goes way slower than in other rooms. Now we're in the fortune teller's room, and this is really the part of the run where my hands are starting to hurt, because this is basically 1.5 minutes of button mashing, just getting through all the text boxes. What we're basically doing here is handing in each of Mario's items. She tells a little bit about what happened with Mario. I see that there's a donation, so this would be the perfect time to call it out. Thank you, Niana. My text boxes in this game can be either be continued by pressing A or B. So what we try to do is just mash A and B as quickly as possible, just to get through here. This is definitely the most boring part of the run. But this is especially the reason why we run Japanese. Normally these text boxes are even like another minute longer, and it already takes a minute and a half. Was that the final one? I'm not sure. I think there's one more. Oh no, that was the final one. Oh, we're all ready. So there we go, we got the fortune teller. And let's hope the boo wasn't there. Can't see it though yet. Oh, it was a boo ball. Oh, this boo can be really tries to escape really quickly. So now we're heading upstairs again to where we'll be heading off to the next boss fight. We need to clear one more room before that though. And this next boss fight is definitely something. I'm gonna spoil for you guys. So for the people who don't want to hear yet what's gonna happen, mute stream or something, I don't know. But the next boss fight will be a really big boo, which consists of 15 smaller boos. To capture that ghost, you actually need to break him up first and then try to freeze all the boos and then capture those. It's pretty difficult to get a one cycle on it, since the boos just fly all around. So we'll try doing a specific setup there. It's pretty random though whether we get it really quickly or not, so I really hope we can do it. Oh. Also, when you already spray the ice element where it's gonna spawn, it actually doesn't spawn the ghost with water. And all this cash just flying around, gold bars, and Luigi's just ignoring it. I guess he isn't that greedy at all. Already grabbing a gold bar because Luigi is still sort of greedy and he would auto-lock on it. So to actually fight this boss, you need at least 20 boos. Luckily, we already have 21. Also, what you saw me doing there, I paused the game for a second and switched the movement controls. In dark rooms, Luigi will now walk sideways instead of facing the way he's actually walking. Because after this boss fight, we need to do some walking around the mansion, and it makes it a bit easier if Luigi is actually in sidestep mode. So here we go, Luigi just almost gets captured by boos, and then the boos just go away. There he is. He's huge. Luckily Luigi went out of the way. So let's see if we can capture all the boos at once. We want to walk around here and then just walk backwards for a little while until we reach the other statue. Oh, that isn't good. This isn't good at all. Okay, this is gonna be pretty slow. What happened there, Luigi got auto-locked on the ice, so it messed with my angle and it just ruined the setup. Let's just try it again. Come on, got this one. Ah, 2 more. As long as there are 2 or more, he will try forming back into the big one over and over again. So if we would have captured 1 more boo, it would actually didn't form again. And once there are 4 or less, the boos actually try to home at you and attack you, which makes them actually easier to catch. So there we go, 3rd boss. So again, we go back to EGAT's mansion, EGAT's lab, where all the previous caught ghosts are again turned into portraits. It's the same cutscene every time, besides the ghosts that actually spawn out of the paintings at the end. So the next portion of the game is definitely the hardest of them all. We have to capture some pretty difficult boos. Some of the portrait ghosts get really annoying. But the next part actually starts off with a blackout. Like, well, we want to trigger a blackout because that's the only way to continue the story. But that involves a lot of walking around. To trigger the cutscene, the blackout, we have to go all the way to where we just were, which is like all the way on the roof, and that's really far away. Then once the blackout is triggered, we have to move all the way to the basement. And that's just, I'll be moving around a lot. As you can see, we're in side mode, so in dark rooms, Luigi will actually walk sideways. That will be really useful during the blackout, because during the blackout, ghosts will like spawn at a lot of locations. But in side mode, it's actually pretty easy to keep your flashlight on the spots where they will spawn. That way they won't spawn and Luigi won't get scared every 2 seconds. Which is good. We don't want Luigi to be scared. Also, shoutouts to... Shoutouts to... Shoutouts to... Oh, I need to actually grab some fire. The fun thing about being in side mode, though, is Luigi can turn around really fast. Actually... Okay, one more shout out to... It is the Mario block after all. So now the blackout will trigger by some lightning. We're really lucky though, like the mansion gets hit by lightning and it's the only way to prolong the to continue with the story. If that wouldn't happen, we would just be stuck here. So normally a lot of ghosts spawn here on the balcony, but since we're keeping the flashlight towards them, they don't spawn. Oh, that one spawned though, because I removed my flashlight. There's also a pretty hidden mirror in this room. You can't usually see it until you go in the first person mode like this. It does save so much with movement though. This next portrait ghost is the biggest thing of RNG. You just need to wait for him to show his heart. And sometimes it's like instantly when he shows his heart, but sometimes you have to wait like oh, whoops. That didn't mean to happen. And he instantly shows his heart. Normally, worst case scenario, you have to wait 40 seconds before he shows his heart. So to have him instantly show his heart, that's really good RNG. They know I'm doing a marathon. So now we got a key, and we can actually end the blackouts. Again, keeping our flashlight at the ceiling to prevent ghosts from spawning from the ceiling. This will actually be one of the rooms which we will lit up, but don't capture our boo. This boo has quite a lot of health, so it won't be possible to... Well, it's really difficult to one-cycle him. But since it's so tough, we don't catch this boo in the any % category. We just grab the key and go out. Sorry, boo. We'll stay there forever. There are only 2 ghosts in this room, which both spawn by shaking the barrels. Normally for that second barrel you have to walk all the way around it and actually knock on it, but the vacuum has just enough reach to actually get it from the other side of the fence. Oh, poison mushroom. Oh no, that's really bad in this room. I can't predict where it's going. No, 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 no. No. Go away. Okay, I think we're good. I don't think it will come back. For some reason, the poison mushroom is also a thing Luigi auto-locks on. Why does he want to be poisoned? So now we have to move all the way back to the top of the mansion again, which is again a long walk. I'm just gonna shout Mario. I really like that Luigi is actually whistling the Luigi's Mansion theme. I can't whistle though. No. Try it. No, no, no. It's not gonna happen. Stop saying I can do it. Can I just hum when Luigi starts humming instead? Oh well. Okay, this next room has actually 3 portrait ghosts, which is combined of 1 bigger portrait ghost. There are 3 toy soldiers, which will start moving once you turn on all the 3 clocks. And since there are so many of them, we try to capture one of them one by one, just so the other ones don't get in the way. And for that, we try to stay in this corner, just because it's pretty difficult for them to get over there. Oh, it's actually not working. Because to get him, you have to get spring out of their back, but you can just do it from the front as well. Oh, okay. So here on the roof there will be, first of all, 6 Shy Guys will be spawning. Technically it would be possible to capture them all 6 at once, but it's just faster to burn them all. Burn them all. Poor Shy Guys. Oh no, we got hit. Poor Shy Guys. So these 2 have the ice elements, so we want to get them, burn them first, and then just let them move really close to each other. The key we'll be grabbing here is the key to the armory room, which in my opinion is the most difficult room in this run. Well, maybe there might be one other room, which will come up later. But this next room just has so... First of all, it's really laggy because there are just so many items in there, and this is still a GameCube game. The GameCube can't do everything. And second of all, the boo you have to capture in there has 150 health. And the strat I've been using so far to keep the boos in place, you can only do it up... also, Luigi, don't go back. The strat I've been using only makes you able to capture boos up until 150 health. So, and since the next boo will have 150 health, it will technically be possible to get the one cycle, but it's pretty tough. And there are a lot of dark rooms around here, which we really don't want them to be moving towards. Oh, I'm messing up. Oh. Well, we're just gonna do the slow way then. Doing it like a casual, capturing them one by one. And the final one is in... No, not that one. It's pretty tough to bunk on certain things. So hopefully this boo will be in a good spot where we can easily start capturing it. I think it's in here. Oh, it was the decoy. It's all the way over here. I think it's gonna escape. No! Stay over here. No, 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 no! There we go. This is also one moment where I have to press the reset button on the Wii. After we save, after that boo, it's actually faster to just reset the game. That way we'll just start right at the start of the mansion, so we don't have to walk all the way downstairs again. This next room, we have to... Which room am I doing next? Oh, right, the pipe room. In the pipe room, we are not actually gonna clear it. We just need to turn off the water and grab the key that's in there to unlock the room right next to it. And for that, we first have to freeze this green goop. I really hope it's just water and that the texture is just weird. I don't want to know what's in this mansion. They all try to grab you when you do this, but that ghost just wants a hug. No one understands him. Shall we hug him back? No. Sorry, everyone. It is quite risky what I'm doing by not clearing this room. Because the boo in the next room can actually move to this room, and if we don't clear it, we can't actually capture the boo in there. So let's just hope he doesn't move there. So this is the other really annoying room in this run. Just because everyone knows ice physics are the worst in every game. Well, in this game that's also true. Like, Luigi is just so slippery in this room that it's really difficult to keep control of this ghost. That actually went pretty smoothly. That normally doesn't happen. Oh, as you can see, ice physics. Also, bye Luigi! Oh, he's escaping. Okay, he went right. That's at least better than him going to the room on the top. But we forced to go him back, and it didn't work. Some say it's random to which room he goes, but some say that it actually helps a little bit by spraying the elements on the other side of the boo. Again, we're doing another save swap here, just to get back to the start of the mansion. And then we have to go to the roof one more time. So we have this beautiful, boring walk again. Okay, one more quick shout out to... You.
Okay, I guess while Shadow gets moving, I want to quickly plug a few of the incentives that are coming up. I mean, we are still in support of the Dutch Cancer Society, and there is one incentive coming up fairly soon, right after the next run, which is the SMW 11 exit run. I believe we are currently on 15 out of the 75 euros required for that incentive, so starting to get there already, but still a long way to go. And not too long after, there's also going to be some glitch exhibition for SM64 that you can donate to. So, and then plenty more to come up after that. So, do get your donations in quick.
All right, this is the final portrait ghost we're capturing, and before we can capture him, we actually get a little throwback to every ghost we've captured so far, at least from the regular ghosts. You'll be spawning 3 of each, which of course will try to get all triples on them. You just want to get them to move pretty close to you, make them overlap, and hopefully get them all at once for all of them. Some of them are really annoying though, since some of them move really slow, so it's pretty difficult to make them overlap. But most of these should be fine. Probably these are the most annoying to get a triple on. Nope. Then we're just gonna get them one by one. Just when you don't get them, well, we can actually make this a double. Once you don't get the triple on them, it's pretty difficult to do it, so it's usually faster than to just do them one by one. Luckily, they spawn pretty close to each other, so we could still go for a double. These also slightly more difficult since they don't move closer to you. But if we just approach them from the left, it usually works. And the final ones, also don't trip over the banana. The final ones we just burn. Since the ones from the ceiling have 0 health, so they instantly die when you spray them with fire. So we need one more book to capture. This one has quite a lot of health, so you might think it would be pretty slow to get this one. However, whenever this boo escapes, he'll always go to the hallway to the left. And when he's in the hallway to the left, he'll always move back to this room afterwards. So you can actually quite quickly do a 2-cycle on this boo. Also do the boomerang thread. If you already entered the hallway before he left the room, he just goes in and out of the hallway really quickly. It looks really funny. Oh no! Ah, 5 health. Now we'll just go back into the room quickly because he actually comes right to us. He actually wants to be captured. Final save warp we're doing. And now we're off to the final boss. The final boss, you might have already seen a little spoiler of it. Who is it gonna be? You saw him when we saw Mario I should Luigi just say, let's say, whenever I want to say. It's the only voice acting in this game. I should abuse it. So we're actually gonna head to the room where we earlier saw. Oh. We're actually going to the other entrance of the room where we saw. Oh, I can't let them say Mario this time. This time we can actually go fight the final boss. You already saw OoB with a jewel on his head. But still, there's that Mario with the mysterious still having his cap on. Well, we already found his cap somewhere. Also, if I play really well, that's usually a pretty good indicator of what time you'll get. Like, if you do everything perfectly during this boss fight, it takes exactly 2 minutes to defeat the final boss. So if I do it perfectly, I would get a 106 something. And oh no, Mario turned into Bowser. We were fooled all along. This is the Mario block, and then Mario isn't actually in there. You guys were lied to. This isn't a Mario game. So this boss fight, the Boo that's actually inside Bowser. Spoilers, sorry. He has 500 health, so it's impossible to get a 1 psycho on him. You can technically get a 2 psycho on him, but it's really tough since you can only get about 255 to 260 health from the Boo. And since it has 500, we only have a little bit of margin. Also, we need to wait a while. So, look at this pillar. What a beautiful work of art. Okay. So here we go. Let's see how much health we can get him down to. Also, the Bowser head is really annoying because somehow Bowser spits ice at you and not fire. 261. Ooh. I think I'm gonna go risk it for a 2 cycle. I can do this. Here we go. Ah. Normally, if you don't get enough health on him, you try to keep him above 200 health, because otherwise this happens and Bowser just runs around with his head on backwards. So, here we go. This should be the final hit, and Luigi just hit himself. Come on, Luigi. You're almost there. You almost saved Mario. And time. So this was Luigi's Mansion, any percent, no out of bounds. I hope you all enjoyed. And yeah. Oh, there's Mario. Don't worry, he's alive. Maybe. We can close it out. Like, there's only a final cutscene where Mario gets saved, unless people want to see Mario get saved. Do people want that? Nah, okay, then we can just stop.